Hi there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading. Today we're going to start general for those of you who want to know what's going on for the next 3 weeks. And then we're going to jump into love. We got 3 cards out right on the fly. We get the firefly, the black egg, and the nightingale. And at the bottom, you have the swan. So right away, this is telling you that the energy that's surrounding you for this week is about transformation and transmutation. So there's something that you've been trying to manifest, a big dream that is trying to come to life. You've been working on this possibly for over a decade, Sagittarius. This is really near and dear to your heart, really important to you. And you think about it at night quite a bit, just before you go to bed. And for many of you, it's on your mind quite often. It seems like a life goal, some very large achievement that you're trying to accomplish. In the past, you've had many obstacles to achieving this goal, and I think some of you had even given up at some points. There's something here about you taking back your power and transmuting negative energy into positive momentum, specifically towards this goal. I also see that you're going to be drawing a lot of attention to yourself in the next couple weeks. So let's jump into the tarot to get more information. But with the firefly energy, I see that you're going to be attracting a lot of energy, a lot of attention from other people. That could be social media attention, that could be in person as you walk by. People may be more prone to saying hello, talking to you. So I get this sense of you feeling like you're some kind of famous person with paparazzi around you. Doesn't have to be that you get famous or that your video blows up on YouTube or whatnot, but it can be something like this. It's almost like you're suddenly magnetizing this high amount of energy towards you and it comes out of the blue. So that's what I'm seeing for this week. And let's get the detail behind that. All right, first card out is the 3 of Swords. So yeah, like I said with the black egg energy coming out, there's something that you are transmuting. So all of this starts with some kind of failure, betrayal, or negative influence that really made you feel defeated. All right, so there's some kind of point in time where you felt like this is over, this is done, I've been defeated. You may even feel like somebody betrayed you, didn't support you. But that same pain that was drawn from this event is what is really catapulting you forward. So I'm seeing that you're transmuting that negative experience, that negative energy into just this powerful momentum towards your goal. All right, next card out is Strength. So you're definitely pulling on your spiritual strength at this time. You're facing your fears and you're not allowing whatever this obstacle or stumbling block was. You're realizing it's just a moment in time and it's not something that has to define the future of your life experience here. So you're learning to move past whatever that was for you, even though I don't want to minimize how difficult it was, because it was something definitely that really hurt you. Next we have the King of Pentacles, and then we have the 4 of Swords in reverse. All right, so no rest for the wicked. With the 4 of Swords in reverse and the King of Pentacles, I see that it's going to take a lot of action, a lot of movement on your part, and perhaps with somebody that may be helping you. There's a man, middle-aged to a little bit older, that will be important in the next 3 weeks, who may be coming through here to say that they're going to provide resources or to help you or guide you in some way. But there is a male figure coming through for you. And then we get the Ace of Pentacles. All right, so we'll clarify that in a moment. What else for Sagittarius? So we get the Tower in reverse next to the Ace of Pentacles. So there's something here that is coming towards you, some kind of reward, an amount of money perhaps, a gift perhaps, a new opportunity opening for you perhaps. But it does not come as a surprise. So with the Tower energy in reverse, it's almost like I deserve this, or I knew I could do it despite these people who tried to hold me back or dissuade me from this goal. It's almost like an inner knowing or realization, an aha moment, like, I knew that I could do that. I knew it. Even though at some point somebody external to you made you doubt yourself. maybe the circumstances you found yourself in made you feel at one point before in your past that this was not possible, but it certainly is. So I see you realizing a major goal here, and I see you at the cusp of doing that. If you haven't already, Sagittarius, I see that you're right at the cusp of shifting from an old point of view to a new point of view, where you will accept that this goal that you've had that seems so massive and so far away and difficult is now achievable. I heard finally achievable. So it is within your grasp. And then we have the Hierophant. So somebody in a position of authority, you see how the Hierophant comes through with the King of Pentacles. Somebody in a position of authority is available to help you, or is making themselves available to help you. Queen of Wands was in reverse. So not that you're going to reach out to this person, not that you need to necessarily offer them anything. They don't want anything in return. This is somebody who is going to reach out and help you of their own accord. You're not going to have to ask. So somehow your guides felt that was important to highlight in the reading. All right. When I get a lot of cards like this, it's a side message to me. So we'll get into that in a minute. At the bottom, we have the Wheel of Fortune, which means there's some kind of destined event coming through here. Something is in the works. Something is now inevitable based on past choices. So there is some kind of destined event coming up, and I'm going to read about that now with this side message. Okay, we have an 8 of Cups here. This usually indicates walking away from something that you've put a lot of effort into, a situation where you've spent a lot of your energy. The Hangman in reverse, you're being decisive at last. So after a very long time of debating, do I stay, do I go? There's some decision you had to make where you actually finally walked away from something and just took the loss. You're like, well, I know that I am okay here, but I know that if I don't move forward and let go of what I've built, I can't build the next thing, which is really right for me at this time. And so you are letting go of something very important to you, very dear to your heart, maybe a comfort zone, maybe a past home or city, maybe a person or a group of people, but you're walking away realizing that if you stay where you are, while it's comfortable, it's not your 10 of Cups. It's not your happy ending after all, right? And then we had here the 10 of Wands. This gave you a lot of worry. This felt like a lot of work. For some of you, you may have felt very burdened by this decision. The Hermit, and then Justice in reverse. But something didn't sit right or feel right with you. So I think you're making a decision to move forward despite what you have to give up to achieve your next goal, your next destination. All right, you feel that things where you currently are have been unbalanced or unsustainable, right? So you're finding a new approach, a new path forward for yourself. We're going to close the general reading by pulling some more details here before we jump into love. For those of you who are interested in love, I will timestamp it for you in case you want to jump to that. All right, so we have spiritual love here coming through for this difficult decision. There's something about the month of June, Sagittarius, that is very important. Perhaps the catalyst that began this whole situation, or that gave you the energy, the motivation, the momentum to move forward in a new way, happened back in June. We have pay attention to your health. So this person that comes through to help you, this could be some kind of doctor, or this could be somebody who's helping you out with your financial health or with just your mental health, etc. There's something about specifically a male coming through to assist you in some way, and it could have to do with your health in some way. So that came through for some of you. You are going to be blessed here with good fortune, and because of the strength and the commitment that you've shown to this particular endeavor, Sagittarius, you're going to be rewarded, you're going to be respected, you're going to be honored, you're going to be really supported spiritually throughout this process and energetically throughout this process. At the bottom, we had climbing towards success. So again, this is all building up to the hatching of this egg, this moment that you've been really working towards, it feels like at least over a decade, is culminating. It's leading up to a very destined outcome. All right. And I think you're going to be very familiar when you receive that information or that outcome or that opportunity. I think so, Sagittarius, because it's not new. It is not just coming out of the blue as a surprise. It is something you feel you've really worked on and worked towards for so long. So it's almost like, I deserve this. You know, I've busted my butt for this. I deserve it. Anything else? Okay, we got 2 last cards here. We have you're protected from negative forces beyond your control. So if you feel scared, if you feel burdened by the choices you had to make, because you did have to make a difficult choice to walk away from something that you invested a lot of time into. It could be a situation at work, it could be a relationship of some kind, or a friend group of some kind. Just something where you feel you've really found your place in your space, and it's just that used to fit for the old version of you, but it does not fit for the new version of you and for the future you envision for yourself. So last card here, dealings or relationships with a woman will be important to watch out for here. Somebody may be two-faced, so somebody may try to do you dirty. This fell here on top of Justice in reverse. And at the bottom of this deck, I have the bat, which says, take care, enemies may be working against you. And again, this came out with protected from negative forces. So by walking away from whatever this situation is, you may be dodging a bullet because there's some negative person, some two-faced, potentially woman who has been behind your back trying to do some damage here. And I think you're releasing a situation and thereby getting rid of this negative influence that you never even, I don't think you're even aware of this person or their interest in messing with you. I think you just choose to move away in another direction, and by default this person's plans fall through or don't affect you directly. But I don't know that you've actually become aware of them. All right, so that's all I have for you guys. As far as your general reading, feel free to drop questions, and if I get lots of likes on the video, I can post a bonus and I may choose your question to address in that follow-up video. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to stay for love, that is coming up next. Hi there, Sagittarius. Welcome to the love portion of your reading. We're going to start with general energies. I'm actually going to do Celtic cross for you, and then we're going to jump into the details of your love reading. So we start with the number 9, suffering in silence. Next we have patience, and I'm going to let that stay right where it is. With the number 14, that reduces to a 5. So there's some long-awaited change coming for you when it comes to your romantic life. Today we're going to explore what is going on in your romantic life, what is surrounding you, what energy you're in, and then who is connected strongest in your energy at this time. It could be someone from your past, someone new, or somebody you haven't met. We have memories of love with the number 6. Prosperity and new beginnings with the number 1. We have a material harvest with the number 9. You actually have double 9s, Sagittarius, when it comes to love. So heavy manifestation energy and patience above all else. So in the past, you've been very patient. The number 6 with memories of love is also speaking to nostalgic feelings, memories, reflecting on the past. Here we have a financial and material harvest and disruption. So I pick up, and this is just the first layer, we'll be adding to this and clarifying. But here we pick up that you, Sagittarius, have had perhaps a difficulty when it comes to your romantic connections in the past or in the very near past, or some of you may be in the middle of it, because I do have the suffering and silence card here, where you're keeping the pain and the hurt and the suffering to yourself because you feel like the situation can't be changed or doesn't have any kind of solution at this time. However, you hold on to positive memories. You try to build patience, you try to work on things, and some of you may feel stuck or tied up because of your financial situation at this time, but there's something coming towards you here. You're being supported by abundance. So this material harvest card and the number 1 here with prosperity begins, along with the butterflies, point to a massive shift or change or opportunity when it comes to your financial situation. So I think if you were stuck in some kind of conditional relationship because of money, there's a chance here that you're being offered to break free of that. So that's just what I'm picking up here in your first layer, and we're going to start pulling some additional clarifiers here as we move forward and before we touch on who you're connecting to, although some of you may already know. So here we have helpless and hopeless. This card to me represents the inner child. It also has the number 8. So it feels like for a long time you've felt like you've been neglecting your inner child or your needs. This also represents your needs. It's almost like that inner voice that tells you that something's wrong, or that you need to stand up for yourself, or that you need to say something, has been silenced for some time. So here you're being prompted with the Seek card to seek spiritual alignment above all else first. So I'm picking up that you do need to make some time for self-reflection, relaxation, for connecting with nature. Birds may be important to you for some of you, or butterflies. Specifically, the color green is important this week. And it looks like you've got a message coming through here from your guides who have been trying to reach you to provide some guidance or clarity on how to move forward. But it seems like you've been stuck in this place that may not allow that communication to flow very freely. But there is positive movement here that's possible. There is positive momentum here when it comes to love with the number 7, good fortune, some kind of agreement, some kind of reestablishment of a bond could be possible for you here in the next week or two. At the bottom, we have new vitality. So I see new energy, new life being manifested into this connection. So for some of you, if this is an existing relationship, one that you felt was dying off, one that you felt had become stale, there could be some very new vitality coming into this connection for whatever the reason. So let's go ahead and jump into the person that you're connecting to. Sometimes more than one person will come through, so bear with me during this next portion, but let's see who you're connecting to in love. First, we're going to do you, and then we're going to do your person. Let's do Sagittarius on the left. Ooh, my goodness, Sagittarius, you have a lot going on. So all your cards are popping out, Sagittarius, so let's see. You may be confused because the deck completely came out in reverse, and I think that's not a coincidence. So you're struggling to find balance. This is your current feelings when it comes to romance. You're struggling to find balance. You feel a bit mentally fragile, so you feel like you could have a mental break at any time. You're at your wit's end, Sagittarius, and you're looking for signs. You're like, please, somebody help me figure out what to do. So you're looking for guidance, you're looking for signs, you're almost in this overwhelmed feeling, and you want to be able to regain self-trust, to be able to trust your choices again, to be able to believe in yourself again. And I say you want to be able to because I feel like that voice of your inner child that we talked about earlier has been silenced for so long that you've almost broken promises to yourself so many times that you don't trust yourself any longer. And that's a very difficult situation to be in, because then when you try to make a resolution or a path forward, you don't trust that you can pull through for yourself, show up for yourself, and really keep that promise. And so there's something here about you breathing new vitality, new life into your romantic relationships or connections. But at the same time, for some of you, this could even just indicate reconciling with yourself and being able to stand up for yourself as you present yourself in relationships with other people. So reassessing how you show up for yourself each and every day in this connection, as well as how your partner is behaving. So it's not just about who you're connecting to in love currently or who you may be connecting to in the future. It's about, how do I show up for myself when interacting with other people in the world, whether that be romantically or not. There's something here about that, about revitalizing that trust, that emotional security that you have in being able to meet your own needs, because it ties back to childhood wounds, things like that, where you may have gotten used to feeling like your needs were not important, your needs needed to be silenced. And at this point, you're an adult now, and you're really growing up and understanding that you can have a different way of life, and you don't have to always silence those needs. You shouldn't have to silence those needs when interacting with other people in the world, especially with a romantic partner. You would feel, I think you're coming to that realization that maybe it's not right to always have to be the one to sacrifice or be the one to silence your needs, your desires, etc. So let's go ahead. This is about personal power, rebuilding of self-trust, and I think that's where new energy is revitalizing you at this time, Sagittarius. So let's jump to your person. Let's see who you're connecting with in love. All right, for your person, we have Alpha Centauri with courage and the number 6. All right, who else do we have here? Who comes through for Sagittarius? Here we have the eagle. And I actually saw this one earlier as well. Forget where I saw it, but I know I did. So this is the energy of creation with the number 33. This is all about taking charge, taking back your power, taking back your ideas and your thoughts about the future and what your future should look like. All right. So I'm picking up here that you've been very patient with a connection, but that something significant needs to shift. So for some of you, this is definitely a long-standing existing connection where you're feeling like you've neglected your needs for too long and something significant is about to change in this situation for you. Okay, at the bottom again we have power with another eagle, Aquila. So definitely birds, important for you. Personal power is a huge message for you. The number 6 repeats throughout your reading, as does the number 9. So finding balance is extremely important for you at this time, for you to make your next move, rebalancing your energy when it comes to your self-respect, your promises to yourself. That is also a number 6 with the vows. That will make you limitless. That will help your transformation. And again, we have balance here, which came out in the very beginning with the Libra energy. So above all, right now, your area of focus, I do pick up that it's finding your true north, finding your balance, Sagittarius. And let's pull some additional details about your person to see who may be connecting into your energy. Let's see who is connecting. We get the 4 of Swords, we get the Hangman. And these are all energies of a pause or taking a break. You could be connecting to a Libra because the Justice card wanted to pop through and you did already have Libra energy to begin with. You may be on a break from a relationship because that was the first thing that came out when I said who is Sagittarius connecting to. And here we go with the Lovers. You may be on a break because of some kind of power struggle or power dynamic with the person who you were connected to. So whether this is a long-standing relationship or somebody that you were dating, it looks like you're on a break or on a pause from this person because there was some kind of power struggle in the connection. And I think you showed up in that connection in a new way for yourself, where you hadn't advocated before for your needs. You finally did. And then here we have the 7 of Swords in reverse. So that felt good. For those of you who've already taken that courageous step forward, stood up for yourself, it felt like relief. It felt like you finally heard your inner voice again out loud after so many years. And so maybe that does lead to a permanent ending with this person. Maybe it doesn't. But you just feel so good and so proud of yourself for doing it. And for others of you, if that hasn't happened yet, you could be experiencing some kind of difficulty in a romantic connection over the next 2 or 3 weeks, because that's what I'm picking up here. Some kind of energy power struggle with a romantic partner is coming through very strongly here. And I think what's being highlighted for you this week is to focus on maintaining your balance, maintaining your promises to yourself, respecting yourself, rebuilding trust in yourself, in your ability to remember who you are and to really honor that person and not get lost in the relationship and be the person that this other person wants you to be. Right? Page of Swords. You're speaking your truth. You're standing up for yourself. You're really saying what's on your mind. And then 5 of Swords, even if that means having to let go of someone or end something. All right. So I think a very powerful reading here, Sagittarius. 7 of Wands comes out as your final card, overcoming a major challenge. All right, so some of you are in an existing connection. Feel free to drop your comments. And this is just some kind of temporary hiccup. Things will look much better soon. We have 8 of Wands right after that. So by you standing up for yourself, advocating for your needs and for yourself, it actually really leads you to a much better place. Whether for some of you that means that this partnership strengthens over time, or for others of you that you just strengthen your own self-trust and motivation to feel better, to advocate for yourself in the future, to do better overall. All right. So that is all that I have for you, Sagittarius. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Take care.